So next, we have a little change to our usual, to the event list on here. We've got Gaurav Dubey, the CEO, or as I call him, the Chief Evil Officer of TDeFi. Oh, I mustn't make too many jokes about TDeFi. But anyway, TDeFi is a crypto incubator. And he, I don't know, I'm not sure what that is, but she'll find out. A round of applause for Gaurav. Thank you.
Hey, so the first lesson I learned when I was starting to speak, while I'm fetching for the clicker, okay, great, was to know my audience. So I'm going to shoot a few questions and let's see who's still here. Are you feeling the heat at 30 degrees centigrade? Are you feeling the heat at 22,000 USDT? A Bitcoin? Okay, so this is clearly NFT audience. You know, CryptoPunk is not going anywhere except for Ether, and Bored Ape is not going anywhere. Vulcan Forged definitely is not going anywhere, and we're building day in, day out. I'm Gaurav. I represent TDeFi here today, and I'm going to make it short. For those who are watching online and would watch this video, guys, these seats were purposefully set for a sauna session, and if you really want to know the audience, they're outside. So don't think it's an empty session and we are talking to chairs. It's actually full here, up there, and maybe other places, right? Whatever. So quickly, TDeFi started off with setting up an advisory incubator when we saw that this place has phenomenal technology creators, amazing entrepreneurs, amazing tech guys, but like a little sense of entrepreneurship, sustainability, and perseverance was missing with a few projects, not all. Let's blame my portfolio only, the one that failed, not the ones that successful. I've been in crypto since 2015, investing ever since, mining, trading, and all of that in the capacity of businesses, not individually. So while going through this journey of investing particularly and trading professionally, we found out two missing points. One, I already mentioned, portion of entrepreneurships, and then more so, the difference of ICO and IPOs and the similarities of ICOs and IPOs. And that only triggers the topic of token management, token markets. So this brings me to another question. How many of you have a crypto project here? Just 4? Okay, cool. And how many of you have ever done an IPO? Like in the equity side, have you been a part of a IPO, like a public offering? Anyone? Oh, we have more IPOs than ICOs. Great. I'm certainly addressing a different kind of community. So in some ways, ICOs were like IPOs, making an offering to the public, not the way they are, sort of exit liquidity today, but taking the token out, making the audience a part of your journey, letting them know what you're doing, and then bringing them on board. But the difference between IPO and ICOs were largely around the liquidity of the market. Because when a company goes IPO, they have profits, they have a phenomenal EBITDA, they have a revenue curve, they have investment bankers, advisors, regulators, and a shit ton of speculators before they hit the market. But when the company goes ICO, they're just a bunch of investors who are barely allowed to sell, or at least assume that they would sell. So there's no liquidity, and the audience is just piling up. There is no revenue most of the times, and these are the differences between, these are some of the many differences of ICOs versus IPO. and the markets and the entrepreneurs are not ready for this. So we established TDeFi, the incubator primarily, and then advisory, scale to advisory, to take care of the token side of your business, help you navigate through this space from structures, token engineering, token velocity, token utility, transactional tokenomics, and obviously the investor pie charts that you often know as tokenomics, obviously. And then also giving you an idea of how this tokenomics works when it's released over time, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, and how would your charts invite investors, traders, speculators to play around with your token, or at least to buy them, if not hold them. So the proposition was made clear for startups. We were helping them shape the startup, find a product market fit, help them with investors, marketing, tech, whatever they need in the space, and then basically advise them for a lifetime of token. And with this reputation of fantastic ventures, we created a byproduct which was for the investors and VCs. Now, those who are coming from traditional world or are trying to play around with the crypto space can actually trust a brand that is a part of the team of the startup, has done their due diligence. I come from a 13 years equity, private equity, and angel investing background in tech, life sciences, and healthcare. So, and so does my team of more than 100 people. So they have a brand that talks their language. They have a brand that sits on the board of the startups that they're about to invest and works alongside and has an idea of the whole life cycle. So that worked out for the investors and VCs. And we have an ecosystem of more than 400 venture capitalists, more than 250 larger institutions, funds, and more than 5,000 retail investors, call them unsophisticated angels. And then about last month, we launched a launchpad, which has 28,000 KYC'd investors, but small ticket investors. So which is also, completing my third point of community. So I'm not going to take more time. We're all, burning here. I've covered most of the things. I leave it to you to read the deck while I'm skipping through it. And that's the cost of not burning you down, as Jamie wanted, to burn you to ashes and rule you. It's 100 plus total years of team experience, 25K retail investors. I told you 28K. It's the difference we made in the last 4 days. And yeah, these numbers are slightly old. The 3 million eyeballs is an important angle that I would want to use before I conclude. TDeFi is an awkward name. I understand it's not a word from the dictionary. So TD in TDeFi comes from the parent company. It's Trade Dog. And Trade Dog is a community of 3 million plus traders, speculators, and viewers that constantly look at the suggestions, trading suggestions, investment suggestions made by this investment advisory company. It's the parent company of TDeFi. And these traders also add ton of value to our incubated projects throughout their life cycle of trading. Yeah, these numbers might have changed drastically. 1.7 billion total market cap is down, as everything else. 50K token holders. I think this number has also changed drastically because we have 200K, just 120K just with Vulcan Forged. To clarify, because it was mentioned in Vulcan Forged video, we are not the early incubators of Vulcan Forged. We came in around the launch. So like I said, we help with the token side of things more than the business side of things. But yeah, a bunch of our portfolio companies are here in this arena, starting from Vulcan Forged, Edwards that might present in a bit, and then Goons of Balatroon that's about to launch. So yeah, we have done 150 plus projects in pipeline, while there are more than 1,000 projects in the TDeFi testnet, which is super early stage projects. So what we do is we create a thick wall between super early stage projects that we work with and the bigger projects that we incubate and advise at the larger stages. Bunch of them are unicorns, so you really can't pick up a project from down their college and put them next to well-established companies. So that's the numbers. We can skip this. That's the tiny team of mentors that you see here. We are a team of 100+ people established between Dubai and India, and now scaling to Romania and Silicon Valley, largely San Francisco. This is a quick peep into our portfolio. We are very diverse, starting from early days, infrastructure projects, entertainment projects, metaverse, layer 1, layer 2, these days layer 3 also, by the way. And, but one thing common, we are inclined to work with real-world use cases and things that, blockchain solutions that are solving a real-world problem. We're obsessed with blockchain and the utility it brings to the real world. So, some good pictures to have, some media exposure. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for bearing the heat.
And you are? Susan. He's brought his mum, eh? I'll just call you Brett's mum. Sorry, I was just talking to Brett's mum. Okay, so thank you for that. That was somewhat complicated, but I don't have that much money to invest unless we murder everyone here and seize their land. Anyway, next.